Welcome to Regan's Corner. It's not every day you have a professional boxer on the podcast. What's it going and how is it going? And tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of, and what the big fight feel coming up here in June is going to be like.
Hi everyone, my name is Chiara Dituri. I'm a professional boxer and a school teacher as well. And I'm going to be fighting my 10th professional fight on June 8th in Atlantic City. And I'm super excited. I'm going to be on a world title undercard. So it's going to be really exciting. And the whole card is going to be just quality fights.
Absolutely. So, what's it like being a school teacher and balancing that time commitment, especially with a sport like boxing?
It's all about time management. So as long as you have time management, you can fit anything into your schedule. But yeah, sometimes some days are tough and you're tired, but you just stick to the plan and stick to your schedule and stay disciplined, and that's it.
So, how did you get into boxing?
I started with martial arts first as a child growing up. Some of my family members were doing it, and we all did it together. And then as years went by, I was the only one who kind of continued with martial arts. And then later I transitioned and met people and got into the boxing world. And here I am.
Here you are, a step away from getting that world title shot. So, what's it like being on the undercard of that world title when it's in almost grasp distance?
It's exciting. I mean, my entire family is going to be there. It's going to be a big crowd. So for me, like that doesn't add any pressure. It just makes me more excited when there's more people. I'm excited to showcase my skills and just show what kind of fighter I am.
For sure. So, what's kind of the training like? Kind of what was the training camp for this fight coming up?
The training camp is a mix of road work, strength and conditioning, nutrition, obviously, and boxing and sparring. So every day is kind of a different kind of training, and that's about it.
So, talked about 10 fights already, career fights. So, what's going to be different here with the 11th and kind of what are some things that you do superstition wise before a match?
Yeah, so it's gonna be my 10th fight coming. So this will be on June 8th. But I treat every fight the same, meaning that no fight is bigger or smaller. So every fight is important. So there's nothing I really do beforehand. I prepare. Obviously, I train and get smarter every fight, but I take it the same way mentally, I guess you could say.
Okay, so, what are some things studying this fighter that you can kind of see and kind of adjust on different uh, as kind of like studying and scouting?
I'm fighting a girl from Mexico who all like Mexican fighters are very tough. They come forward, they're strong. They don't go down easily, so I'm expecting a tough fight. But I believe that my skills will win that fight, just to outclass.
Okay, so kind of outlast and kind of in the later rounds, kind of catch her with a couple right hooks, maybe with a jab, and kind of go
We'll
along
see.
those lines.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Absolutely. So, kind of even being like a school teacher, does that kind of help you with kind of the psychology of the different fight game and stuff like that?
Um, does it help me with the psychology? It helps me reflect more on myself because I'm a teacher and I teach other people. So it helps with self reflection. I think self reflection is an important part of being an athlete and a good person. So I think, yeah, sure.
Absolutely. So, what are some kind of self care do you do with boxing? Doing that year round, plus with the time management from your other jobs. So, what self care do you do?
Self care for me is being in nature. For everyone is different, but just being in the sunlight, going for a bike ride, just being outside. That for me is self care. It's like a recovery. like a mental recovery. It resets me.
So, what is your favorite moment in your boxing career so far to this point?
Uh, yeah, a lot of people ask me that honestly, and I don't have a favorite moment yet because every fight and every experience is so different. Like, I'm fighting, I fought in Mexico, I fought in DR, I fought in Nashville, like, and then New York. It's so different that each place that I fight it's unique in its own way. So I don't have a favorite moment just yet.
So, what's it feel like versus, because we kind of talked a little bit about the difference and stuff like that from fighting in the Bronx here in New York versus like Nashville or Mexico, kind of those lines.
It's a different crowd, different people, and you feed off different crowds, different energy. Um, like New York energy is so different from Nashville energy. Nashville's a lot calmer. It's like I fought in, it's called country box. It was like country music. It was an interesting vibe, but it's like I said, it's just so different everywhere.
So, what's it like kind of being in like the mainstream kind of audience here for your 10 fight? Kind of building up your career through the nine, and now kind of getting into that main, like broadcasted and stuff like that.
It's exciting because I feel like this is like the most important, one of the most important fights for my career, because it's my chance to really get my name out there. So I think these fights from here on out are going to be a game changer for me.
So, kind of like a showcase, kind of what you've been training for, and kind of going
Yeah,
through.
like the years, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you have any superstitions before or during your training?
Honestly, I don't. I don't. I know. I wish I could make it more interesting, but I don't. So I'm just going to be completely honest. Yeah. I just believe in hard work and I believe in sacrifice. And that's it. That's what win fights. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you had to pick one walk-up song, okay, for like a main event in a few years or in a year, when you get that shot, what would it be?
Oh man, that's tough. Hmm. I don't know if I would go for like a hype vibe or like a more of like a calm vibe. I don't know. Maybe like Jay Z. Maybe some Jay Z. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. You can't go wrong with some Jay Z. No.
I know you can't go wrong.
So,
Definitely.
going through this fight again, so what are some things that you learned, other than she kind of goes into it, that um, will help you with the fight coming up?
Um, just stay patient. You got to stay patient with tough fighters. You can't expect to throw a combination, hit them, and let's say they don't, um, I guess like get hurt, or if you don't see any impact right there and then, you have to stay patient. That's what you do with tough fighters, and that's the strategy.
So, what's it like kind of going on this tour a little bit for this fight? So, kind of having the more of the media tension through kind of the period of it's almost here, it's only a couple weeks away kind of feel.
Maybe for most people it might be nerve wracking, but I feel like it's more exciting. I like talking. I like talking about my journey and stuff like that. It just honestly, I just feel like it adds more confidence to myself. Honestly, so I enjoy it. Yeah, it's cool. Keep it coming.
Absolutely. So, kind of going into the training and stuff like that, what is one of your favorite drills kind of to get yourself ready?
Favorite drills. You want me to tell all my secrets? That's what you want.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
I can't do that. But I don't really have a drill. But I think for me, the main thing for me to feel confident in a fight is strength and conditioning training. I think that has like been like a game changer in my career. Like you can have all the skills in the world, but if you're not in shape, that all goes out the window when you get tired. So strength and conditioning training, yeah.
Okay. So, what is like the go-to song when you're doing the Rocky montage during the trainings and stuff like that?
Um, I listen to a lot of different like hip hop songs. Just hip hop in general. I think yeah, I train to hip hop. Anything like kind of hype and yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. So we're gonna go into the hot corner, our last segment here. Um,
yeah.
no puns intended because we're on Regan's corner, nonetheless. So, okay, what is your favorite sport that is not boxing?
My favorite sport that's not boxing. I don't watch any other sport. I only watch like UFC. Honestly, yeah. I'm
Okay,
not into like team sports.
okay. So, who's your favorite fighter in the UFC?
I like all the female fighters. I think in general, I like really admire all any female fighter, like especially in combat sports, because I know how hard it is, and you know the challenges that they go through. So I enjoy watching all the females.
Okay, okay. So, what was that transition like going from martial arts to boxing and kind of having one different discipline when you had many disciplines in the martial arts?
I think it's humbling and it shows true character because a lot of people they have a lot of pride. So when you're learning a whole different sport, you got to put your pride to the side and completely start over like a beginner. And I was willing to do that, and that's why I am where I am today, and I continue to do that, and that's why I keep. I think that was the hardest part. Well, I think that was.
Okay. So, what is the go to meal of choice before or after?
At carbs, yeah, because I'm so carb deprived. During my before and after, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to have that pasta, especially when you have to cut weight like that. So, what's that
Yeah,
like cutting weight to get into that weight class?
this is the hardest part. I always say of like training camp is the nutrition and the weight cut. It takes the most discipline, like especially when you're training so much, you're hungry, but you have to control it. You can't eat that much. You have to watch what you eat. It's just it's a mental game. So that's the hardest part.
So, what subject do you like teaching the most in school?
So I'm actually a phys ed teacher. I only teach physical education. I teach all the sports to my students. So um, right up my alley, I guess, of being a fighter. Yeah,
I mean, that's a perfect mix,
I know. Or I mean, what else would I have chosen? So
right? You can
right,
kind of travel when you want to with being a phys ed teacher.
summers.
Kind of.
Yeah, definitely helps. Great
So,
schedule. Too.
so kind of going through kind of the class days and everything like that. So, when are some things that kind of you do, even like with helping your students when you have to like go and these long trips from like New York, Nashville, Las Vegas, and kind of go from there?
I keep my students in the loop. Like they know, they actually all know when I'm going to fight. So it's pretty cool. Like, you know, they support me. You know, they're like, "Oh, how'd you do?" Some of them even stream in sometimes. So yeah, just yeah, we're in contact, I guess.
Absolutely. So, it was a pleasure having you on, and good luck with your fight coming up. Where can
Thank
we where can we catch that fight?
It'll be. I will. I'm not exactly sure. I know it's at Bally, so it might be on like a website, but I gotta figure it out. Sometimes I don't get the stream until like a week before, so that's something I'm gonna have to update you on.
Absolutely, and we'll kind of stream that out to Regan's Corner fans around. But
But it's
thank you.
follow me on Instagram, Speedy underscore Dituri. Yeah.
Absolutely, will do. Thank you for coming in, and Have a great day and stay froggy, my friend.
Thank you. Bye.
Talk about the NBA Finals from last night here on the Roundabout after our interview with that pro boxer that we just had. That we're going to show clips from this podcast a little bit later, but nonetheless, Dusty, talk about the NBA Finals so far because the Celtics were on fire, kind of like what you said about a week or so ago. Um, does Dallas kind of go back and kind of figure out some things? Check, check, check.